I'm here at the end of the day. I got just my commercial property left here, the farm property. So let's get to it. All right, let's try that again. Had a little technical glitch with the phone overheating. So had to let the phone cool down for a few minutes. I had one of those MagSafe chargers on the back of it. So it overheated. Didn't realize that it was. I had it charging on my whole last lawn. So to recap, I'm at my commercial property. So we're gonna get this one done. Put some glasses on because it's very bright out here. Switch the camera around. This one's gonna be pretty noisy because of the nature of the turf tracer. Walk behind mower. While I was letting the phone cool down, I was taking the bagger kit and everything off of the mower. Now with this property, I usually start um, by walking and walking the walk behind to the first little spot that I start at the front, because the little piece of grass there is there's a bit of like a real dip or slope, so and I gotta like go back and forth on it, so I just walk over to the front where the traffic is on the busy road there. I get that done, and then I'll drop the sulky and do the rest of it. And then because I'm not bagging, when I finish the front section, I'll come back and do this whole slide slope when I'm facing the other direction so that I'm shooting the grass into the field there. So usually I start about here, walking behind the mower. It's quite the dip. And this is one of the only properties that I actually side discharge on. And only because it's a working commercial property and it's really rough. It's a big dip, bump thing here. Not sure what that's from. It's been there a long time. So I usually start by, like I say, walking behind this spot. Then we'll drop the sulky and do the rest of it here. Beside a busy road. So I'll go and drop the sulky now. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Also, if you can hear the audio, would be great. Little chain here. My little pin's broken, so I'm just going to take it off and put it in my pocket. And just a reminder, if you do ask questions, that it might be a while for me to. I got the sun against my back in certain directions, so I won't see the screen with the glare. So I might have to wait for certain spots to be able to stop and look at if there's any comments. So on this commercial property, the only thing that I do is this front little strip here, and then there's maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other lawns. I guess that question or that statement would be easier to answer by saying what I don't do here. And what I don't do here is this field beside me, behind this fence. This is a cow pasture. They sometimes will have cows. Usually get cows at a certain time of year, and then they raise them. And I guess slaughter them at the end of the year. This little field here to the side. Speed down. This is the epitome of what I would call a utility cut. For me, it's just a standard cut. Like I said, this lawn will have a lot of, sometimes a lot of garbage because it's beside a busy road. Sometimes there's a lot of like semi trucks that come in and out of this place. So sometimes there'll be lots of tire ruts in the lawns. Sometimes they park tractor trailers on the lawns. There we go, there's the first lawn. Comments. So I usually start out this one. This is another one where I do things backwards. Normally I do all my trimming and edging and all that stuff first. On this one, this is the only one where I do it reverse. I do the mowing first. And then I'll come back and do any straight trimming I need to. That little strip. Looks like we got some branches here to move. Rake on. This is the other thing, see all the debris. So just gonna move some of these bigger sticks out of the way. Get a lot of this type of stuff here on this property. Another reason why I like kind of doing this one when I can, beginning of the season with the turf tracer. So I just, with all the little stuff, just go right over it, break it all up. Again, because this is a commercial property that is really rough. Oh, sorry, the phone is just swinging off my neck. I've got both hands picking up sticks. I guess that thing I didn't pick up that one. That one's all blackberry vines. So that'll do. Let's see what we're doing here. Comments here. Gotta be careful at the end there. I can see a low-hanging blackberry vine. So yeah, on this one I do my mowing first, then I do my trimming. There's that vine I got a duck under. razor sharp thorns. Always a bit tough to do during the summer. Those blackberry vines on this property grow so fast, like week to week, that I would usually have the Milwaukee 8-inch pruners with me so that I can snip them as I go by on the mower. And I don't do that for the sake of the property. I do that for the sake of me, because they just will grab on as you're going by those thorns and just rip your skin apart. So you're going to have to get a little bit closer. Oh. These things are like razor blades. Unfortunately, the whole center section here is all blackberry bushes. So this is one of those properties where, like I said, it's really rough. It's not one that, I have done YouTube videos here. There's a certain time of year where this lawn looks really nice. Not this particular section, but there's some other bigger sections. So they're all right for doing videos at that time, showing off certain things that I have done in the past. But for the most part, this lawn has some really rough months. For example, in the fall, with it being so wet, it's pretty rough. Yes, stick over there I missed. I didn't even see that one. How tall the grass was from a distance. Yeah, you can see, I'll show some examples when I see them, where semi-trucks have caused some big ruts. It's especially a problem because nobody ever fixes it. It's not something I can just like stand on and squish down. It happens like in the winter months when I'm not around. Pretty much this whole section here along the top, around the edge where the pavement ends, is brutal. I used to be able to ride along there and mow that whole top path. Can't do that now. Like it's completely destroyed. Let's see if I can get up there through here. Yeah, so last year I was able to mow this with this, but some semi-truck has gone and destroyed it. So now I got more work now to trim all this that I can't get the mower to go on. So that's why I say it's a bit of a problem, because it's been year after year, something else happens, and it's never fixed. The top of this little piece here. Bear with me. Like I said, if you have any questions, I am working with the sun and the glare. I guess that's the only good thing on the rainy days or overcast days. I can see the screen better on the live streams. But then the cell service doesn't work as good on overcast, cloudy days. One of the things I do like about this property is that, for the most part, everybody leaves me alone. Occasionally whatever, but for the most part, nobody does. And I can just kind of whip around here, get it done. We can use all sorts of different mowers on here, from the navigator to the turf tracer. It's a really rough one, though, as you can probably see by the bouncing around. What I don't like about this property is the condition of the surrounding trees. They're all pretty rough. And just like the rest of the property, kind of get neglected. So a lot of times I'll show up and there'll be like branches and stuff on the ground and things like that. Always makes me nervous when I'm mowing here, especially if there's any sort of breeze, which there is today. Start to worry about that. I find myself looking up a lot. Of course, got headphones on, hearing protection, all that sort of stuff. So, plus a noisy mower, make it difficult to hear any sort of potential limbs of trees cracking or anything like that. Some of these trees are pretty darn big. Oh, just lost my line there. Don't take your hands off the controls. I got a good crooked straight. Ah, let's do that. But yeah, it's nice that I can side discharge this one. Definitely speeds things up. I don't always side discharge it. Like say if I use the navigator, then obviously I'm collecting with the navigator. If you have a compost on site for me, compost pile, I can just back up to with the navigator and dump. Especially again in the fall with the leaves. Just starting to green up this lawn. It doesn't get any fertilizers or anything like that other than just the grass clippings themselves. It's a little bit slower growing. Once it gets going though, it's pretty good. I've gotten some really nice photos on this section here during certain times, usually probably like mid-May. Good. I just drove over a badminton racket. Did not see that there. I don't think I destroyed it, although I went over it with the wheels. It's probably not straight anymore. Right there. You see that hiding in the grass? Badminton racket? Must come from the house here. This property here is like multi-generation family farm sort of thing. It's not a farm anymore per se. What they do here is the original family, there's 3 brothers that grew up on this property that lived in that house originally. They now rent out the house. So it's just some renters that live in the house. But the brothers run a hay farm. They don't grow the hay, so it's more of, I guess, hay distribution. So because I live in a sort of tiny semi-agricultural area, lots of hobby farms and things, and small little farms and stuff. So they supply hay. They travel A lot of these semi trucks all around, getting different types of hay, all sorts of stuff. Timothy hay, alpha hay. They also sell different animal feeds and stuff. Those big barns in the back there is where they store all the hay. And there's a store back there. So like natural pet products as well. But this was the family homestead originally. The original tire swing the boys used to play on down then. See if I can take a quick little pause here and see if there's any comments. I can't tell. No comments yet. Let me know if you can hear the audio. Also, let me know if the camera angle is okay. And while you're at it, let me know where you're from, where you're watching from. That'd be cool to see where people are watching from. I would absolutely love to get myself some sort of a big battery mower to do these bigger properties with, especially to do these live streams. It's so much quieter. Still lots of trimming on this property to do. Finish mowing. This property is one of those ones where with the trimming I kind of do it in sections. I usually do like sections. I don't hit every area with the trimming on a weekly basis. Or like every couple weeks. It depends really though on the growing season. There's definitely peaks. If it's peaking, if it's growing like crazy, then it will sometimes hit more areas just because it's growing so much. And then we this lawn is nice, like I said, just for it's a nice little break from the little lawns that I'm typically doing, even though it's really rough and stuff. It just lets me get on a big mower because it's not like manicured. It makes it a little funner. It's able to just mow it. Another reason I like using the old turf tracer is because this lawn is so rough. It's just nice having an older mower that I don't have to worry too much about. Go a little faster. this section here, you can see coming up is a lot of dandelions. There's no dandelions really on the other sections. Some gopher holes or moles. Those are always brutal. Rocks and stuff. This section here, I believe, it grows a lot more than some of the other sections. And I think it's because there's an old septic tank under here. So, I'm always kind of worried about that because the lawn grows very differently right in this patch where you see all these dandelions compared to the other parts of the lawn. And I think I've read or heard that that's a good indicator, a good sign that the septic tank is leaking. And I don't think the septic tank's in use, so it's probably pretty darn old. Because it always grows really good here. Dandelions. Now, you see, I'm not worried about here, particularly worried about stripes going back and forth. I'm just kind of going in circles. Sometimes I go back and forth. Just changing it up today. I got the turf tracer set at 2.5 inches. I'm not too keen on going any lower on this property just because of how rough this lawn is. All the popping down. Bottoming out the blade to go any lower. Good. It's really good. Yeah, once it starts growing like really crazy, it's picked up a lot this past week. So that's when I'll probably switch over in May for sure to the Navigator. Start collecting. Just becomes too much. Side discharge, where you it's like diminishing returns. You end up having to spend so much time going over it that it'd be faster to collect it, especially since I've got on-site dumping here. Stick got a blitter in it. This section here is always tons of gopher or mole hills. At the front of the property now. Got 2 lawns left here. A little hill climbing. Got this lawn here that I'm doing, and then the one beside it, beside of this driveway. Here's another example of some really bad tire ruts from vehicles right here. Along here that have caused a big lump. I now have to trim instead of being able to mow. That's quite a bit of extra work over these years. It's like never evolving property. This is my last lawn for the week. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing some more aerations. So you can see how rough this property is. I take some liberties. Tighter turns and stuff that I might otherwise not take. Still no comments. Questions? Nothing? Five people watching at the moment. Nobody has a question or a comment. How to hide. So yeah, it's always fun having at least one rough property. You can do this is by far my roughest property. You can just kind of whip around, try new things, experiment, especially when it's rainy, using the heavier mowers. Seeing, I'm not worried about rutting, getting stuck. They have equipment here that I can use to pull myself out if I get stuck. And also the fact that they cause so much damage to the lawn themselves. It's nothing that I'd be able to even come close to with a mower. Semi-trailers. Like POV style. Maybe I'll try that taking off the camera for a little bit. Maybe put it on the stairs there of the house, kind of pointing in my direction. Let's see if that works. Do some experimentation there. See if that works. Bear with me while I take my holder off my neck. It should stay connected to the surf tracer there. So let's see if we can, I don't know if this will work here on the stairs, but actually, with this hook here, what I could do is, instead of whipping it through my my neck, I can loop it through the actual stair there, have it hanging, and flip it up like that, and that might give a bit of a view. I don't know if that's working or not. Maybe it's pointed down. Let's try it and see. Yeah, that looks like it would work. Just double checking the angle. Oh, my foot is sore today. I think that using the turf tracer on a sulky would help. Having a sore foot if you're not walking. But this one's so rough, it's just sore. So I try to always, kind of every once in a while, and lift my foot up, take pressure off, but then that causes a lot more strain on the other leg, keeping the sulky steady. Just about it for this side, and then got that one more lawn on the other side. Then we grab the trimmer. I think in total there's supposed to be 1 acre of lawns here between the 5 different sections. Alright, we grab the phone neck holder again. Bear with me. Bend it down so I can pull it out. Ooh. Pop this back over my neck. Still no questions? Go to the next section. Across the driveway. That driveway's pretty rough. So here's the next little lawn on this side. Bit of a slope. Start with it, cruise down. This little section here has been giving me some trouble the last few weeks. It's been very wet in here, this area. Kind of see my tire ruts. It hasn't rained in a week though, so I'm hoping it's really good now. Should be good this week. Oh, we've got some obstacles here. A bunch of branches. Yeah, oh. Speed up the mower a little bit. Traffic's starting to get heavy. End of the day. It's like 4 o'clock right now. 4:06. Here on the West Coast. Stop and go over part of it. Yeah, I don't remember being super windy this past week. Seems like a lot more righteous in the rain compared to last week. Yeah, the ground feels a lot better compared to last week. It's much firmer. Looking at the tires as well, you can see tires are all dry. Circles here. Enjoy the move. Enjoy the weather, really. Looks like I picked up a hitchhiker. A stick stuck. It looks like a blackberry vine. Up the hill, down the hill. Up the hill. Down the hill. Ironically, this is the same property, and I'm using the same mower. I talked about this past week about somebody who was stealing content, using clips and stuff of mine. Ironically, some of the clips that he was using was clips of this property on that hill. Mowing with the turf tracer, kind of riding along the bottom half of that hill, like I'm about to do. That was one of the clips that the person had taken and was using in multiple videos. And finally, as of last night, I've taken down all the videos with all of my content that they had ripped off. It's just not cool. I think that's about it for this one. Got the trimmer, come through. Through it and do some trimming. For the mowing, it's all done. No comments or questions yet. Yeah, that one's not too bad. I'll do some trimming there. And then the upper part of that hill. Yeah, not cool though when people steal content. It's like, you may be the best baker in the world and have the best recipe for chocolate cake, but unless you have the actual ingredients to put in that recipe, you don't have a cake. So don't go into other people's bakeries and steal other bakers' ingredients. Is basically kind of the analogy when people steal content. This guy's videos were all made up of short clips. And there were so many creators in all of his videos. Blades of Grass, Brian's Lawn Maintenance, Ambro's Landscaping. They've literally downloaded tons of people's videos and just broke them up into 5-second little clips. And made these videos. And he was getting lots of hits and stuff with them. But it's like, you know what? As a content creator, it's not easy. Not every video is going to be a hit. There's going to be lots of boring videos, lots of videos that don't work. So when you have somebody come along who just cherry picks the best and puts everything in their videos, and it's like, yeah, of course they're getting all these views and stuff from those videos. I gotta mow this section here. That's my rant, anyways, on people that rip off content creators, these faceless channels. that's it. Let's put this away. And grab my walkie string trimmer. Just go hit up. Sure. Quickly grab a couple of straps. And after I finish, I have to remember to run inside the store there and pick up some dog bones. They sell these cool, it's like lamb hooves that have like they're like hollowed out, and then have some other type of a filling in them for dogs to chew on and clean their teeth. My little beagle loves them, and it takes her quite a while to work through one. So since I haven't been here since last fall, I had bought her a bunch for the winter, and she's finally gone through them. So I'm going to go in and see if they have any more in their store. Need to get some new straps too. It's broken a couple times. Keep tying them together and they seem to hold, but they just don't look good. Grab that string trimmer. For battery, 2 bars left. That's probably pretty good. 2 bars. I just go through this quickly, knock down some of these areas. I like cleaning up just briefly around the building. It looks like they've got careful not to nick those cables. Maybe they have them just sitting there on the lawn. And I could hardly see those two. It's a good thing I did see them. Sitting there in the shadows. Slick cable laid across the lawn. So yeah, just go around and get these edges. I can't get close because of these darn molehills full of rocks. That's new. Those went there last year. New winter edition. New tenants, so to speak. Okay, another rear. Do some trimming around these trees. There's that lovely badminton racket. Luckily I didn't entirely crush it. I rode over it. Don't know where that came from. I don't believe the person that's renting the house has any children. So it might be one of the brothers that own the property. Their families. Sometimes I find like little Hot Wheels and stuff in the lawn randomly. This trimmer's been good. It's a little bit heavy though, compared to the first generation Milwaukee. Not surprising, I guess, seeing as it's so much more powerful. Nothing like the Crest one though. That one you needed to do like arm curls to get used to. It took a long time. Eventually I did. And then they released those nano batteries, and that helped quite a bit. It was like with their regular that original Crest with the like 4 amp hour Cyber Pack battery, cube looking one. It was the battery itself was 8.5 pounds, so it was like 18 pounds. A trimmer with the battery in that thing. So yeah, nowhere near that with this new Milwaukee one. The Milwaukee's 9.3 or 9.6, maybe 9.6 for this one, and the original was 9.3. So 9.3 pounds plus whichever battery you put in it. So still at most maybe 13 pounds. Oh, there's a big like hole there. Something left over from a bygone era. Kind of interesting to be able to work on houses like this. So this is an older area, community that I live in. Has a lot of historic significance to like when the first settlers and stuff like that. So there's lots of older properties still, lots of history. It's kind of neat to be able to work on some of these properties and just kind of think of all those who came before you and did the same thing. I had that one last year that was, I was like the first person. Actually, I had it for a couple of years. This is the first year I'm not mowing it. They sold. So I had it up till last year. That was one where the owner was like multi-generational. And they're like, you're the first person to mow this property in like 3 or 4 generations at least. Probably longer. So I was like, that's cool. That's like somebody who's not in the family. Or was originally part of the family. The first outsider to mow the property, I should say. So that's kind of cool. Lots of old history. Like this house here is probably pretty darn old. Just tell by the architecture. That's the word I'm looking for. Architecture. It's a beautiful word. It's an old word. uh, Not as beautiful at groceries, though, I guess. uh, Gonna trim this top part. Let's see if there's any questions. Nothing. No comments, no questions. It must have been going on. I don't even know how long this live stream's been going. 40 minutes, so maybe? I don't know. Is there a counter on here? Let's see. Oh, yeah, over an hour. Over an hour and not a single comment. Everybody likes to lurk. Lurking in the shadows. Do that other side of the driveway. Look at that for battery. 1 bar. So like this whole hill slope, I did this last week. So that's what I mean by where I kind of do everything, not all of it every week. I just do little bits here and there. If I do one section one week, then I skip it for the next week and then work on that. So like this slopey part, I won't trim today. I'll leave it till next week. Generally slower growing areas. Just to and abide my manage time, I guess I should say. I like to try to just keep it to an hour most on this property. I'm already over that, of course, but That's okay though. Part of that is the live streaming portion of it. Because I was talking about having like rough properties where you can kind of just let it rip. You kind of mow as fast as you can. It's a little bit difficult when you're live streaming though, because then the phone is going to be just bouncing around more than it already is. So I just have to keep that in consideration. So this is what I'm talking about now, is like this area here, where I used to be able to just mow. Up to last year I could mow. Now I have to trim this because I can't get the mower over here with these big semi-truck tire ruts. It's kind of a pain, but I will have to increase the price. They don't seem too concerned about it. Keeps happening over and over again. So all that I have left here, I believe, is that I want to make sure I get. It's the other side of this driveway, the deepest part of that initial slope. See here, where I don't put the mower because it's just too kind of sloped against the fence. It's not enough clearance. I tried it the first time I ever mowed this property and almost got the mower completely wedged in here. So I kind of leave a bit of a berth now and just trim it. Another week in the books of mowing, at least. I was going to, normally I like taking, the whole Easter weekend off. Enjoy Easter with the family. Tomorrow being Good Friday. But the weather is so horrible. The beginning of the season that kind of have to at least do aerations tomorrow. Which is unfortunate. I'm getting a low battery warning, 20%. Thank you, Daz. I don't know if I said that right. That's a nasty property. Yes, it is. As I said, it is my nastiest property. It is my nastiest. That's why on this one, you're not going to see me spend time trying to do stripes or trying to do anything really. It's just whip through it, get it done. I'm going to walk all the way to this pole here, this street light pole thing, and trim this. So here's an example. I haven't trimmed this for a while. So and then a lot of times, because I'm on such a busy street, I'm And there's so much traffic here at times. And so much traffic in and out. Like where did this come from? Seriously. Like, I just mowed this. That wasn't there. This is what I'm talking about. It's crazy. Just garbage people throw out of their cars and stuff, and stuff that comes off the road. And it's pretty rough. What does their sign say? Let's see. It says, what kind of... They always have like a... kind of like a half joke thing. What kind of music do rabbits like? Hip-hop. Haha. Hip-hop. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, these blackberry bushes are brutal. Let's see if I can trim it with the Milwaukee. This has got some Milwaukee string in it. It's not very sharp. I don't know if that's going to cut it. Let's see. Let's put some full power mode on there. We only have that 1 bar battery left, but let's see what happens. Oh yeah, I cut it. Not too bad. We'll just... Another reason I keep my my guards on. Makes it easier for me to just do stuff like that when I need to. But usually, like I said, I'll have the navigator when the lawn is growing like really crazy. That's also the time when all these blackberry bushes are growing crazy. So I'll have those Milwaukee powered pruners, and as I'm sitting and going along, I just clip them and keep them in check. And again, not because of the property's asking me to do that. It's because saving my skin and my clothing. That's about it for this one, guys. Pretty much coming to the end here. Sometimes I don't even bother blowing because it's just all gravel and stuff. You can see here all the debris and things. And I'm getting another low battery warning down to 10%. So I am just going to end the stream there. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a good Easter. If I don't talk to you between then, maybe I'll do something tomorrow if I'm out doing aerations. Ooh, but other than that, guys, let me pull the phone off. But other than that, guys, thanks for joining me here on this live stream today. Got her done, and yeah, that's about it. If you guys have any suggestions about live streams or things you want to see, let me know, and I will see if I can continue doing them. All right, guys, have a great Easter weekend.